right, good afternoon. We are coming back for another practice part that you can follow along with. This is another CSWA practice part. So we are going to start this one in the front plane. You'll need to make sure that you have your settings for MMGS set before we begin. But I'm going to open up a sketch in the front plane so that we can begin drawing. All right, one of the things we're going to do too is set up our global equations, and for this we are going to set up a value of, for A, it is going to be 100 millimeters, and then for B we're going to be 85 millimeters, and for C we're going to be 30 millimeters. Then we're going to click OK. And I'm already in my sketch, so I am ready to start drawing. I'm going to start out with my line drawing tool. I'm just going to click on it, and I'm going to draw a horizontal line out to approximately 100 millimeters. Doesn't have to be exact again, but you want to get as close as possible. And then I'm going to draw a vertical line up 10 millimeters, and then another horizontal line out to about 50. A vertical line up 15 millimeters, and then a horizontal line out 15. And then I want to draw up, so we have 12. I'm going to draw up about 4 millimeters. Again, does not have to be exact, but you want to be close. And then I'm going to come out about 45-degree angle, and I'm going to go back into my sketch here, get that circle icon, and then I want a radius of about 6 millimeters. And then I'm going to draw straight up about 4, and then a horizontal line at approximately 20 millimeters. Oh, excuse me, a little bit more. We'll go about 25 millimeters, roughly. We can go a little more. We'll go about 30. And then I'm going to zoom out, and then I want to come down. I'm going to draw another one at an angle. Doesn't really matter where. And we're coming back down over the origin. Click, and then draw a vertical line down to the origin. That encloses our sketch. It turns a light gray, bluish gray, and we are ready to start smart dimensioning this part. So go up to my smart dimension tool. I'm going to click on the first line that we drew, and this is a global variable, so I'm going to hit the equal sign, and this is going to be global variable B. I really kind of made that one a little large, didn't I? That's okay. All right, now we're ready to start doing the rest of them. The vertical line, we're going to dimension out to 10 millimeters. Then our horizontal line, I'm going to dimension to 50. And our vertical line here is going to get dimensioned to 15. And the horizontal line is going to be dimensioned to 15. And here we're going to dimension this to 6. And we're going to do this one to 4. And then we're going to do this one here to 20. And that locks that into place. We will not worry about dimensioning this. And then what we're going to do is we are going to dimension this line and this line to an angle of 45 degrees. And then this line here, vertical line, we'll get dimension to 25 millimeters. And that brings our part out to where we need it. That's looking pretty good. So now we are ready to, we have a fully defined sketch. We're ready to go ahead and extrude this. So I'm going to start out as extruded base boss or boss base. It's going to bring it up. I don't want to extrude it towards me. I want to change that dimension away from me. We're going to extrude it blind, and then here in the dimension I'm going to do equal, and it is going to be equal to global variable A. I hit my green check mark, and then hit my green check mark, and I now have a three-dimensional part. So what we're going to do now is we've got a little boss that comes off of this edge right here. So I'm going to click this edge, and I'm going to open up a sketch. I will hit my space bar and select normal 2 to bring that to my front. And then I am going to open a circle drawing tool. And if I hover over this line right here, you'll see that it brings up the center of that radius right there. So I can now click on that one, and I can bring it right to the edge of that original radius. And then the only thing that I need to do now is dimension it. It's going to be 12 millimeters. And you'll see that it's fully defined. And the only thing that we have to do now is extrude that part out to 10 millimeters. And that is going to get extruded towards us. So we're going to come over here, type in 10. Good. Hit the green check mark. All right, so now let's go ahead and do a drawing on this side. So I'm going to click on this surface right here. I'm going to open a sketch. I'm going to make this normal 2 so I can see better. I'm going to open up my circle tool, and I need to draw on the edge here, right at the center. I'm going to draw a radius of 7.5. I hit my green check mark. I'm going to dimension this to 15. And I am done. I have a fully defined sketch. I'm going to now do an extruded cut. And as it brings it up, I'm just going to rotate it around to me. I'm going to go blind on this one for extrusion, and I'm going to extrude cut to 20 millimeters. In depth, hit my green check mark, and I now have that little piece out right here. All right, so what do we have left to do now? We need to do a sketch up here on the top, so I'm going to open another sketch. I'm going to make it normal 2. And here, I am going to convert the edge of this pen to a line entity so I can use this as part of my sketch. So I need to do a box. So I'm just going to use this line as my starting point. I'm going to draw out about here. I'm going to come down to about 70 millimeters roughly. And then I'm going to come back out to my original line. And then right click and select so I can get out of there. I'm going to go to my trim tool. I'm going to trim off that edge right there, this edge right here. And then I need to dimension. So I'm going to dimension from this edge to this edge 10 millimeters. Hit enter. And then this is going to be 70. And then I need to dimension from this edge right here, which is the center point of my circle here. So from here to here needs to be 20 millimeters. All right, that looks pretty good. I have a fully defined sketch. I am able to do an extrude cut. So we'll do another extrude cut. I'm going to bring this around, and then what I'm going to do is, instead of going in a blind direction, I'm going to go up to a surface, and I'm going to extrude it to that surface right there. And I'm going to hit my green check mark, and I have everything there that I need to right now. All right, so now we have a slot and 2 holes that we need to put in. So I'm going to click on this surface right here, and I'm going to open up a sketch, and I'm going to make that normal too, just like so. And I am going to draw myself a center line from the center of this across here. Right click and select. Then I'm going to come up here to my slot tool. I'm going to do a straight slot, and I'm going to draw it in right about here. Come over here and then come out. Doesn't really matter where. We're good right there. And then I'm going to draw a circle up here. Doesn't really matter. Oops. Here. And I'll draw one over here. Now I'm going to make this circle and this circle equal to each other in size, and then I'm going to take the 2 center points here. I'm going to make them vertical so they line up. Hit my green check mark, and then I'll take the center point of this and the center point of that, and oops, nope, I'm going to do that. I'll do the circle point, center point of that circle, and the center point of this, and I'm going to make those vertical. And now I'm ready to start doing some dimensioning. So the first 2 circles, or these 2 circles here, need to be to a diameter of 15 millimeters. I'll do that. And then this arc here has a radius of 7.5 right there. And then center point for my slot to center point here is going to be equal to C. So we'll hit equal on our global variables. We'll select C, hit our green check mark, hit our green check mark. That locks that in. And then the center point of this slot, which is right here. Oops, let's exit out of there real quick, out of the smart dimension. Center point of the slot and my construction line that I drew earlier, I'm going to make those coincident to each other. I hit my green check mark, so that locks that into place. And then the only thing that we have left to do then is to smart dimension from here to here, 20 millimeters. And then I'm going to do the same thing here and here. Make that 20 millimeters. Now I have everything locked in. And then I need to dimension from here to here. And that is going to be 30 millimeters. So once those are in, we have a fully defined sketch. Everything is locked into place. I hit my green check mark to get out of smart dimension. Go to features. We're going to do an extruded cut. And I am going up to a surface, so I am just going to pick that surface right there for it to cut through. Hit my green check mark, and it is done. The last thing that we have to do now is to add a fillet. So I'll click on my fillet tool, wait for it to open up. I'm going to use this fillet type right here for an edge. I'm going to make it 2 millimeters is what I want it to be. Hit enter, lock that in, and then what I'll do is I click on these edges, and as I do that, it will fillet all the way around. Hit my green check mark. That is done. Now the only thing left to do on here is to add material, and we're going to go click edit material, wait for it to open up, and we are going to make this a titanium. So I found it, if I remember correctly, under other metals, and we click on titanium, we click apply, we click close, and if we've done everything correctly and everything is taken, when we go into our evaluate and we do our mass properties, we should come up with a mass of 805.68 grams. Let's see how close we are. Look at there, 805.68 grams, right on the money. So that's what we're looking for. We're good to go. And we can save this part as, let's save this one as our February 11th practice part. February 11th, 2025 practice part. And we're going to hit save. We're going to exit out of that so it doesn't show back up again. And now that we're saved, we're good to go. All right. Well, that is our part for today. If you have any questions, leave a comment. Ask me in class. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you on the next video.